Good evening. Welcome to the January 13th, 2026 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh?
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and on the Township website, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends and Daily Record newspapers, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policies.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Dracy?
Still here.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Siracusa?
Yep.
Mayor Russell?
Here. There are no presentations scheduled for this evening. At this time, are there reports or comments from any of the volunteers serving our community? Peter?
My name is Peter Schmidt. As you can hear, my voice is not that good today, so I will keep it short. So we have started this project, I call it for now Pequannock Appearance Improvement Project. You know, we discussed it in the last council meeting. And I wanted to alert you of, let's say, a proposed process. I sent everybody an email, including because I think the council should be involved in this project. So basically, we will start doing a walkthrough here with some volunteers, whoever that is. Certainly, I talked to the Chamber of Commerce; they are very interested. I talked to the Environmental Committee; they are interested in participating, and I'm sure there will be other parties that are interested in participating in this project. We will do a walkthrough in, I don't know when, a few weeks, through the township and list all opportunities. We just make a nice list of opportunities, and then we have probably a small group of people that make a pre-selection and identify which one could be done, low-hanging fruits that we could pick. And these ideas I would like to present to the council, and the council then endorses this idea and say, this is a good idea, Peter or whoever, make us a plan that really identify how much does it cost, how much work is it, who has to do what, do we need permits, all these things. And we could develop a plan, basically EDC, and then this plan goes to the council, and the council has to endorse it or approve it, or amend it or decline it, yeah, whatever it is. But basically every opportunity, if you think about it, has some cost and some energy and some work involved in it. And it has a benefit on the other side, but how do you judge whether the investment that you do is worth the benefit? The best premium to judge that is the council. I have to say the council, because representing the city. So I think that would be your work, involvement in this project, to judge these opportunities and maybe then to approve them if money is involved or work is involved. Yeah, that needs to be officially decided. Okay, and I sent an email out. I have already a list of opportunities. Just give you two examples. Oh, I should mention, all my friends attest me that my taste is not very good. So I will refrain from injecting myself in judging what is beautiful or what is ugly. But I don't know whether you can see it here. The post office has a very ugly wall that you can see from far away. Why don't you make a relief with a panther on it? Easy to do, just hang it up, doesn't do anything, just an idea. Another idea, of course, is this Golden Panther Park really yearns for two alligators that protect it. Yeah, And you can see from your laughs, everybody who will pass by will smile and laugh a little bit and remember, Pequannock, it's a nice group of people. And these are just a bunch of by force, that are sawed together and bolted together and lie there and don't do anything and don't cost anything. So these are only ideas. By the way, the council is encouraged as well to send me ideas. I put it into the opportunity list, And so slowly we'll get started. This is a marathon. It's not a spurt. I see that as a year-long project, but it's fulfilling the master plan. If you look at the master plan, it explicitly says to improve the appearance of the Pequannock. Yeah? Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Peter.
for your hard work.
Do we have any idea when the $9.4 million improvements for the turnpike comes to start?
I read the press release.
it-
That is the extent of the information, and I got an email from the county, so I assume there's
Steve
going to
was
be
the guy to ask.
meetings.
I'll
And
see-
I thought
I'm
somewhere
gonna
there
see
it
him
said it's
later
a
on.
long process.
Yeah,
I thought I
it's-
saw 6 years or something in there.
Yeah.
It's the county's grant, it's not
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah, it's not ours, it's the county's grant to do their road. That's why when everybody would say to us, we need this, it's not our road.
Yeah.
Any other volunteers? Next item on the agenda is public comment. This comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. Additional time is reserved later in the meeting. We welcome comments, suggestions, and questions. However, the purpose of this time is to allow comment, not to engage in dialogue. If you have a specific question, please feel free to pose it and then follow up with staff via telephone or email. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name for the record. Sandy?
Good evening, new mayor, members of the council, and Attorney Oostdike. My name is Sandy LaCourt, and I'm here as a concerned resident of Pequannock Township. Specifically, I'm here tonight to raise a procedural transparency concern regarding the proposed zoning settlement involving 60 Sunset Road, Pascack Valley Learning Center project. I want to be clear that my comments tonight are not about the merits of the project and not about litigation strategy. They're about process, transparency, easy public access for all residents. I'm a special ed teacher, sorry, that's important. That people at Cedar Crest and people with disabilities and all kinds of people who aren't computer savvy have access to information. And also for community participation. Residents have recently learned that a special zoning board meeting has been scheduled for January 19th, the federal holiday, for the purpose of approving a settlement agreement related to this property. We're concerned because there have been several sets of revised site plans prepared after the zoning board's prior unanimous denial of this application. Plans whose existence was just discovered with notice of the January 19th special meeting of our zoning board of adjustments, who have, they're just doing an amazing job, and I can't even imagine the amount of time they put into all this. So the existence of the 12-8-25 and 12-9-25 sets has not been communicated, nor were they made publicly available in the office or online. In fact, I went to the zoning office today to see those plans and was advised the only plans available are the ones to be presented on Monday, January 19th, which were promptly and courteously provided, just so you know. She was helpful. No summary of changes between the denied plans, the interim plans, and the current plans has been provided or appears to be available. If they are, please let me know. Having previously been told at the zoning office that bubbling and listing changes from one set of architectural and site plans to the next is a requirement for architectural plans, and that the applicant was advised they must provide this, I asked where the bubbling and list of changes was and was told there was none. It was explained that the latest 1/7/26 set of site plans and architectural plans, which was available, was made specifically for the terms of the settlement, which does not replace having access to prior plan sets. The settlement agreement itself itself has not been disclosed in advance, with residents being told it will instead be reviewed line by line for the first time at the hearing or meeting on January 19th. As a result, the public has no meaningful opportunity to review, understand, or prepare comments regarding what has materially changed since the denial. Legal governance framing. Under New Jersey land use law, including Whispering Woods, when a zoning settlement is presented for approval, the public is entitled to the same procedural protections as a standard land use application. That includes advanced disclosure of plans, adequate time for review, and a meaningful opportunity to be heard before any vote is taken. A process where substantive changes are revealed for the first time at a hearing raises serious due process concerns for residents. Request to council. Tonight, I'm simply asking that the town council be aware of these concerns and that transparency and proper notice be emphasized in this matter as it proceeds. Residents are not asking for special treatment, only for clear disclosure, adequate time to review materials, and a process that ensures public trust and protects the township. Thank you for your time and for allowing this concern to be placed on the record. I respectfully request that this body encourages all boards and professionals involved to err on the side of openness and procedural fairness, so that any decision ultimately made is legally sound and publicly defensible, which helps us all. Thank you so much.
Is there any other public comment? Rich?
Hi, Rich Walter, 50 Sunset Road, Pompton Plains. Happy New Year to all you guys, and congratulations. Move this over here. So I'll be quick, I think. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about mirror what Sandy just spoke to concerning the settlement terms. I thought we were allowed to see them. I've seen the new plans, but not the settlement terms, what's been agreed to and what hasn't, and maybe that's another litigation thing. But it would be a shame if we didn't see them before Monday. And I know that probably it is what it is at this point. I'm just hoping for the best outcome for the town and the residents. Along with the transparency that Sandy spoke about, I emailed Adam the other day, I'm the guy, I don't know if you know that, about putting this meeting on the town reader board, the marquee there, and you had explained that due to in the past, we haven't put meetings on the board, and in the interest of being consistent, you're not putting this meeting up on the board. We don't normally post meetings, so we're not doing that, and we want to be consistent. But in my opinion, this meeting on Martin Luther King Day, the 19th, it's not normal, and it's not consistent. It concerns zoning law changes, master plan variations, ordinances that have been in place for 20 years and don't just affect the people within the 200 feet range. These changes are going to affect the future of zoning for the whole town. So it's not normal. It's not consistent. Why we wouldn't put it up on the board, I have no idea. I mean, unless there's something to hide. I don't know, and I'm not making an accusation, but why we can't let the residents of Pequannock know that this is going on is totally beyond me. And, I mean, if I was an attorney or somebody from News 12 or 7 on your side asking this question, Adam, would you give them the same answer? We don't normally do it, so we're not going to do it. This is important stuff. It's just a message on a reader board. I don't know why you don't want to put it up there. Nothing personal. I understand you got a job to do, but you're the town manager, you know, I think you could put it up there if you wanted to. Lastly, and I know I spoke to some of these things before, the way, and Sandy touched on it too, the way that a lot of this has been handled from day one, in my opinion, is unacceptable. I know that the town council couldn't attend those zoning board meetings. I understand that and the conflict that comes with it. But when the unanimous denial came in and the matter went to you guys, the details actually became less clear. We asked some questions, and some of the answers to these questions that we asked were, well, I don't know anything, it's in the zoning board's hands. We don't know the name of the outside counsel that we hired. We weren't aware there was a conference call concerning the litigation. We didn't know that our attorney was going to say that the Pequannock people were awful and that he would offer to settle very quickly, including adjusting ordinances to comply with the applicant. Honestly, and I don't mean to be demeaning or insulting, it's not a good excuse. We didn't know. It went to you guys, and you don't know what our attorneys are doing. So anyway, after the public, and George Seuss, who I see just came in, asked for this some time ago before anything started, we recommend that you get outside counsel because, as you know, insurance company attorneys are pretty much settlement-minded and looking to save as much money as they can. You guys assured us that, no, that's not the case. He is not here to settle. He is here to fight this. Yet on that very first conference call, he undermined all of that, damaging any future credibility for the town to maintain the identity that we have. The very first call. That damage can't be undone. Hey, we're going to settle. The people of Pequannock are awful. Don't worry. We'll get there. Okay? And then there was a second call to there was a second call to the public, open to the public, which I got on. And the judge acknowledged that I could be on the call because it was public information, but he polled the attorneys for each side, and both of them, including ours, requested no residents on the call. Okay? I told the judge, I'm not here to antagonize, I'm just here to listen. I live in the town, I live across the street, I want to know what's going on because I'm not getting any information. So, no, maybe the applicant's attorney didn't want me on there, but I don't know why our attorney wouldn't want me on there. And I know I'm not an attorney, and who knows, maybe I would deter them from doing something. But, again, what are we hiding? Why can't I be on there if the information is out there? Dial into the call. Here's the number. Here's the access code. Doesn't make sense to me, and no one is explaining to me. If you told me, hey, Rich, this is why. Oh, okay, I understand, Just like we understood why you guys couldn't come to the zoning board meetings. Nobody's offering any information. Questions are being asked. Nothing's getting answered. It just seems odd to me. And, again, this is just my opinion. This isn't the opinion of everybody, but it's frustrating when you spend almost 2 years on this, and then you get to the point after the denial where it's like, okay, what's our plan? Oh, our plan? We're caving. Okay, if you had told me that 2 years ago, you could have saved us a lot of time. Anyway, again, just my opinion. And listen, sincerely, I give all due respect to those town leaders who have worked on this in earnest, doing their homework, reviewing transcripts, and who sought input to protect the safety and character of our town. Okay? This isn't a judgment on anybody individually or as a group. It's just my opinion on what I've seen after the residents worked so hard on this. My God, the amount of legwork and time spent, it was incredible just to see it kind of fall apart once the denial came in. Anyway, so appreciate your time and effort. I appreciate you listening to me. I know it's probably not pleasant when I get up here. But the final outcome That's your legacy. You guys are going to own it. You know, the future of our zoning and things like that, it's in your hands right now. And maybe, again, it already is, you know, it is what it is, but I can't sleep at night unless I come up here and speak my piece. 35 years ago, we bought that house. It was a piece of shit, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom ranch that had been rented for 12 years. It was a disaster. We didn't have any money. We gutted it. We did the landscaping. We put a pool in. We went for our lungs. We were in retail, okay? We weren't, you know, highfalutin people. So to see all of that, what I have to look at across the street, the increased traffic and everything, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, okay? Again, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Somebody beat you.
Do I have to be beckoned up? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, George, you made it over.
Thank you. Good evening, George Seuss, 37 Greenview Drive. Little separate issue to start. I noticed there's a developer's agreement on the agenda for later this evening. I noticed the lack of any bond information in there as to whether or not should that be part of a developer's agreement, Mr. Ustay?
We're going to answer when we're done, George, and the mayor will direct the question to me. That's our process.
Okay, great, thank you. Back to the other issue. I just want to let you all know I've been in this town for close to 40 years. I've never been more disappointed with a governing body than I am right now at this moment. I am disappointed in each and every one of you at varying gradients, but make no mistake, with the exception of Ms. Marsh. Acting on the advice of counsel is absolutely understood and respected. Doing the bare minimum and less than the law would allow you to do is shameful. This is not a common message to go on the message board, Mr. Brewer. We don't have these applications coming before this board or any town that frequently. To withhold deliberately, if there was an, oh, I forgot, or oh, somebody should have said something, perfectly understandable. We're all busy. And I'm sorry, Senator, you have to even hear this, because this is not truly reflective of the kind of town this is. Nor are we religious bigots. We were accused of some disgusting things. That law is being misused and misapplied. That law is specifically designed to prevent towns from legislating against churches and mosques and religious groups and people of various ethnicities. That law was never meant to allow an applicant to get 15 variances in a residential zone. Shame on all of you for not fighting with every ounce of your energy, both the part-time and the full-time. So I am here to tell you on the record, I am extremely disappointed. There was not more fight. I do have another question, which maybe will have to be directed, to someone else, and God knows when it will get answered, but I'd like to know that under the GIF insurance, what our deductible is and what our limit of coverage is. Does anybody up on the dais have that information, or do we have to research it? I'd like to hope it's been discussed in recent days and weeks. So what is, Mr. Ustayk, the limit of coverage that the town has in the event of a verdict or decision with financial impacts?
So again, the mayor, when we're all done, will direct questions.
All done meaning on the entire meeting or this segment?
This segment.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else for public comment?
Back was on his way up.
I might be going to sit down real quick. Is this the portion for requesting resolutions, or is this simply the 6 o'clock meeting still going on?
This is a regular meeting.
This is the regular
This
meeting
is
after the reorg.
Okay, thank you. All right. Good evening, council. My name is Carlo Nardone. I've been a township resident for approximately 8 years. I'll cut to the chase. Since 2023, after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling, there have been 120 concealed carry weapons permits issued by the township. The process to get a permit involves a $200 fee that includes $50 for the state police and $150 for the municipality. The permits last for approximately 2 years. The places that the permits are effective are very restricted according to the state. As a comparison, Pennsylvania non-resident permits last a total of 5 years. The costs involved with obtaining such a permit, along with the short duration of the usability of the permit, has resulted in folks seemingly not willing to seek renewal for something that is a protected constitutional right. The evidence I have for that is the state, not the state, but the Township Police Department has told me of the 120 applications that were submitted, only 12 of them were renewals. We're beyond the 2-year period when the majority of those permits would have expired and folks would have sought renewal. While the township itself has no control over the duration of the permits, nor the locations which permits are applicable, the township does have the ability to potentially offset some of the costs associated with the permitting fee. Specifically, 13 other municipalities within the state have sought to pass resolutions which reimburse applicants the $150 municipality fee associated with processing the initial application and then the renewals. Butler Township up north is one of the closer municipalities that has passed such a resolution. What I'm asking this council to do is to take up and consider a resolution that would be similar to the Butler resolution, which would reimburse applicants upon approval and clearing the required background checks, fingerprinting, and passing the marksmanship test to be reimbursed the $150. Should the council feel that that is going to be difficult because of the costs associated with processing the permits, I would add we are talking only a total of 120 such applicants in the past 3 years have actually been processed, and there's only been 12 renewals, so I believe we're talking about a relatively small financial impact to the township. I will, however, couch that by saying that the costs and the barriers associated with the permitting process are somewhat punitive and discouraging people from exercising a protected constitutional right. So I'm looking for the council to maybe take that up as a resolution. I do have a copy of the Butler resolution here. Can this get put in a record or something?
I mean, put in the record that you gave it to us. I'll put in the record that it's provided.
Okay.
Anyone else for public comment?
Package down because it was pretty bad.
Good evening and Happy New Year to all. I have a couple of things that I'd like to discuss, but one thing that I do recall is I owe you a copy of RLUPA, right? The clickable reference sheets that are focused on municipal wins, where dismissals, summary, and judgments with affirmances, because there are several. Another thing that I've included in this package that I'll put together for everyone to have a copy of is patterns noted by One School Global when referring to...
I was looking for that.
on how they really coerce towns to get involved in these allegations. So I think if you have this and you see what the patterns are, I've cross-referenced it to our E-code, I've cross-referenced it to the MLUL laws, and also to Department of Justice cases. So I will put that together and make sure everyone has a copy. And the other thing I'm here to talk about is settlement regarding the Pascack Valley Learning Center in the township of Pequannock. Settlement here is really being driven by fear of litigation, not by weakness of the law. And paying to approve what the ordinance prohibits creates even a greater risk than defending a neutral zoning decision. Lawyers often choose to settle cases even when the laws favor the municipality, not because the case is weak, but because the risk profile feels uncomfortable. So what you are seeing is the insurance company seeking risk management, not a judgment on the township merits. And clearly the denial by our Zoning Board of Adjustment followed those laws. And this is why we even have a master plan and we follow the laws. But federal courts routinely reject attempts of reframing zoning defeats as civil rights violations. The Third Circuit has held that RUPLA claims fail absence evidence of less favorable treatment compared to similar situations of non-religious use. Courts make clear that the denial of a preferred site or scale does not constitute substantial burden on religious exercise. Neutral zoning laws applied evenly are lawful even when they restrict development options, and that self-imposed site selection hardships do not create constitutional violations. Settlement here by the Town Council or the Zoning Board of Adjustment does not eliminate risks. It creates risk, including state law and erosion of our zoning integrity. This matter should be defended in court where neutral zoning decisions are withheld. What I also have to say is, and I want to clarify the rules and processes in New Jersey law. Town Council advises on legal standards and protects the records, but the decision belongs to this council. The recommendations from insurers, staff, or advisory only. The zoning board adjudicates zoning matters, and the council reviews the settlements independently, in public, with findings on the record as required by Whispering Woods. So my focus tonight is ensuring that our process is independent, transparent, and legally sound. So with this, I've included public record statements. I've included how decisions have to be guided by law. I've included the Whispering Winds check sheet that also goes on to state what everyone's portion is, right? What am I looking for? Okay. So the bottom line is the Town Council advises, structures the process, and protects the record. The council decides, insurers recommend, and the Zoning Board of Adjustment adjudicates zoning. This matters because the New Jersey law requires independent council judgment, which is the Town Council, not the insurance company. Public review, so that we too can review what you're settling, right? That's part of the procedure according to Whispering Woods. The recommendations from council, staff, or insurers are only advisory. They can't tell you what to do, and the zoning board can't rewrite the laws. They have to stay within the MLUL. We're hoping that they are going to do a denial. It'll make it much more easier because that does fall within the public interest. We don't feel that the township should settle paying off someone unless the settlement includes that they're giving us the land. That would be a win-win for us. But I've provided all the cases, all the summary, and all the documentation. I'll put the packets together because my job, I feel, is to let the town know what we've discovered, right? Because we love this town. I've lived here since I'm 8. I'm almost 65, so I've been here a long time. And I hope that, people that do live in this town want to stay here. And also, if the Zoning Board of Adjustment moves forward to approve this, and should for some unfortunate reason the judges approve it, which I highly doubt they will, this affects not only the town and the residents, it proves that our stability as a zoning board is weak. And that means if the church can build a 5-foot fence, so can our neighbors, because you can't discriminate against us too, right? There is zero religious, discrimination against them. They also encouraged us to research them, which we did. They used that against us in the civil case. They didn't like that. So these are just little things. And I really hope that if there are any questions, that you reach out to the core people who've been actively involved in this for 2 years, because we care about you, we care about our town, and all these decisions have a detrimental effect across our nation, statewide and federally. So thank you.
I think we have time for one more. He's walking up.
Good evening, everyone. Alex Baroscas, 8 Broome Avenue. Thank you all. Again, I would like to remind everybody that what the letter we received from the plaintiff's attorney, basically there is no change to the applicants. They are still not in compliance with 14 and require 14 variances, some of which are minor, but some of which are major. The drainage issue has never been resolved. They want to use retainage basins, but the water will end up in what is called the Zone AH, which is your 100-year flood zone, which is behind the hospital and all in that area. The potential is that it will increase that area, and thereby the potential of those people with being added to and the need for flood insurance, because as Mr. Nelson said a couple meetings ago, FEMA has the right to come in and decide where additional flood insurance is required. Now, the potential is there. I am not a lawyer, but I am an engineer, and I do know how to read a set of plans, and I do know how to read a set of grading plans. And the grading plan does not match what they want to do. Again, I'd like to thank Sandy, Rich, and everybody else who has come here and spoke so eloquently about transparency and the need for it. You have issues like zoning issues where we have a 3.9-acre piece of property, they want 5 acres. You have an issue where they're manipulating parking, using tandem parking. These are all issues. These are main issues. The roadway on a school is supposed to be placed on an improved roadway, 60-foot right-of-way, 50-foot road surface. It is not currently out there, unless they are planning to purchase right-of-way from everybody, but I don't think they are. They have a buffer zone issue, which they have structures in the buffer zone, not permitted. There's a lot here that again, I do not see. There was not one change. If anything, I believe the building is now bigger than what it was originally. Okay? Because they're manipulating the parking lot with some type of either pervious pavement or pervious pavers. I do not believe pavers are considered pervious in the town, but maybe that has changed too. So there's a lot of manipulation going on here, and I don't think that everybody is fully understanding of that. And while everybody has to make a business decision, I understand business decisions, okay? But this decision has lasting impacts on this town. And way back when, Home Depot, when they tried to come into our town, it was fought, they didn't come in here. They went to Riverdale. Riverdale got the benefit of Home Depot. But what is our benefit here? Our benefit is you're changing various zoning ordinances in this town. You're changing fence heights, you're changing parking, you're using tandem parking. Do you know any place that uses tandem parking in town? No. But you're going to create it, and you have the potential of creating that later on down the line. So you as a governing body ultimately have, I would assume, some say with regards to the settlement, and I would assume that you have some say with regards to what goes on currently. You have the opportunity to fight this. I think Lorraine put out some excellent points here with regards to Arupa. This is not, unless somebody can show that the zoning ordinances were changed just prior to the purchase of this property. The applicant was fully aware of what the zoning ordinances are. They are not amateurs at this business, okay? They are not amateurs. They know what's here, and they don't want to comply. And the letter that was sent to the 200-foot residents basically says, we're not changing anything. We're not changing anything, and you'll have to live with it. So I thank you for your time. I certainly hope that you take what all these residents have worked so hard for.
and worked and provided such great information. I mean, there's a lot of information here. And, unfortunately, you weren't able to attend those meetings where you would have seen that, and you would have seen a town that came together. This wasn't just these, just a couple people. There were hundreds of people attending meetings, okay? Various times of the year, various weather conditions, they were there, okay? Provided some wonderful responses, and I really think you really need to take that into account as well. But it's mainly the zoning. You are going to change the outlook of this town. So it's your choice how you do it. It's a business decision. I understand it. It's a poor business decision if you make it, but nonetheless, it's a business decision.
Thank you. At this time, we've reached 30 minutes of public comment. As previously noted, an additional time is reserved for later on in the meeting. Do you want to comment on anything?
Yeah, we had a few open questions. One was on Mr. Seuss asked about the developers agreement and what that meant in terms of bonding for the property. And bonding is going to be required for this project. It's less than it was years ago. The state has limited us on bonding, but there will have to be some bonding done. That'll be a separate resolution on the bonding. We'll be reviewing it separately and approving it before they can begin any kind of work.
Is it still somehow based on the project cost?
Much less than it used to be. We're really limited. But yes, it's all formulaic. It's landscaping. There's certain aspects of it that are subject to bonding. Yes. And I think there was also a question about the insurance, which I think you direct more to the township manager.
Yes, Mr. Seuss's question about the level of coverage, it falls under the land use line of coverage that there's an excess carrier, the MEL retains, which is $150,000, and then the MEL retains an additional $850,000 on top of that for a maximum of $1 million.
And what's MEL? What is that?
Municipal Excess Liability Joint Insurance Fund. They retain $850,000, which gives a total of $1 million, and the township, from a copay perspective, is responsible for 20% of that.
Okay. So the max, and there's no excess coverage beyond that. Is that common for a town our size?
Yes. And the MEL system includes 650 public entities, so it's not limited to our district.
So that's a real drawback in terms of cost of a judgment against the town.
Yes.
Understood.
Okay. Any comments from council? The next item on our agenda is the manager's report. Mr. Brewer?
Thank you, Mayor. My report in writing is brief, limited to three things. The first, this is our annual conversation regarding the budget process. As the council has requested in the past, there's a proposed schedule subject to council input and ultimate direction and approval. Additionally enclosed are the revised deadlines. Interestingly, the state put into law essentially the deadlines that the local finance board had annually adjusted to. So it's now codified, so it's not an adjustment by the local finance board. So we basically take the timelines that are identified, our usual process, and back into a schedule from there. So if there's any changes the council wants to make, if the council wants to digest it and come back on the 27th to finalize, the first proposed meeting would be Saturday, February 7th.
I'm good on the 7th. Everybody good on the 7th?
I'm definitely good on the 7th. I have to review all the other dates, but I'm definitely good on the 7th.
At least we know we're good for the 7th.
Yeah, okay, so if council's good with it, we'll keep it as is pending confirmation, but we'll definitely go with the 7th. And I will again present this in my memo on the 27th.
Kyle, might warn me.
What?
On the 7th?
I'm not available. Oh. I'm military. I can maybe call in if you want.
Any other days on a Saturday you're available at all?
Challenge is the next day is the 14th of February.
Yeah.
I'm not available then.
Oh, okay, so let's keep it the 7th and maybe call in?
Yeah, I can call in.
And Councilman, if you'd like, I can sit with you in advance of so you're prepared.
Fabulous, thank you.
And not operating in the dark. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, there's a resolution for the council's consideration this evening regarding renewal of an animal control shared services agreement with the Borough of Bloomingdale. As the council may recall, when we adjusted the responses, this agreement was created to basically have another layer in the rungs of call-out. So if two of our animal control officers are not available, we can engage the Borough of Bloomingdale. There is a $2,500 amount that is posted, and staff is directed to make sure we use that every year, so we take advantage of going through that. And lastly, as Mr. Osteich previously has provided some comment on, there is a developer's agreement between Hillview Realty LLC and the township, which is one of the next steps in the process that was identified by the planning board as a condition of approval. Unless there's any questions, that is my report.
Okay, there are no public hearings scheduled for this evening, and there are no ordinances scheduled for introduction. The next agenda item is resolutions. Ms. Marsh.
Beginning with Resolution R 2026-55, authorizing the execution of a shared services agreement between the Township of Pequannock and the Borough of Bloomingdale for animal control services. 2026-56, authorizing the execution of a developers agreement between the Township of Pequannock and Hillview Realty LLC. 57, approving revisions to the Engine Company 2 bylaws. 58, confirming the designated memberships in the Pequannock Township Fire Department. 59, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. And R 2026-60, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the December 22nd, 2025, January 9th, 2026 bill list, and the January 8th, 2026 FEMA elevation escrow list.
Are there any comments on the resolution from council?
Comment on 56. What is this now?
So Hillview Realty went back to the planning board again for an amendment to their approvals for timing. And this is going to be the developer's agreement that reflects that.
Got it.
Anybody else? Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Dreesy?
No to 56, yes to everything else.
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Dreesy?
I did that already.
I'm sorry.
I think.
First one.
I definitely don't want to start this meeting over Mr. Syracuse.
Yes.
Mayor Russell.
Yes. There are no items listed for discussion, and there are no reports and notices. The next item on our agenda is council reports and announcements. Councilman Dreesy.
Ooh, I get to go first again. I'd just like to say Happy New Year to all on the council, on the residents, and to the people that are here. Looking forward to another good year. I want to say thank you to Peter and EDC for putting this appearance package together with all the other agencies in town. I'm looking forward to seeing that a little bit more. Congratulations to Kyle on mayor and Melissa as deputy mayor. And just looking forward to a good year. And thanks for my cornerback.
Councilwoman Florence Lynch.
Yeah, just a couple of things. The Historic District Commission meets tomorrow night at 7. Economic Development. Peter, you're doing a great job. Is he still here?
Yes.
Oh, there he is. With the group. I believe you guys were even out the week of like Christmas, looking at all the spots. So thanks to you and the rest of the committee for doing all that work. I believe that next meeting is the fourth Wednesday, which is January 28th. That's their next meeting. The planning reorganization meeting for the planning board, that is on Thursday at 7.
This Thursday?
I believe so.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it's this Thursday at 7 p.m. I believe is the planning board reorg, right? Okay. And then what else did I want? I'm looking forward to the first aid and fire installation dinner on Saturday. And then I just wanted to make a quick comment about this upcoming Whispering Woods hearing. I had talked to the lawyer beforehand on it. So, and I'm speaking as a council member and a concerned resident, I want to encourage all you guys. You guys have done a lot, for the town, so I encourage you to go to the hearing, and I trust the board will consider all your testimony as they did before, and upholding the municipal code. So, the initial denial was reflected, as you said, on planning principles, and I encourage the public to support the Board of Adjustment in maintaining consistent application of our laws. And, I support the rationale behind the initial denial and encourage the board to hear all the arguments, and I support the integrity of the process and the importance of public input. But we're here, so let's see. But thank you.
Councilman Cole.
Carol, was everyone notified about the planning board reorg? Is this a new day that we're having? Thursdays?
I don't,
It might have just been.
I don't notice those meetings.
So who does?
That would be,
Does Tamara?
Does
Tamara know who is being appointed, or?
Unless we.
It may be waiting for this evening's meeting. I'll follow up tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have.
Is Thursday the new planning board day?
I don't know. I have to check.
I think they were just looking for a new, you may have to double check that, make sure they didn't change it, but I thought I saw it for Thursday.
It would be nice to, we didn't know that when we had our reorg meeting in December, if they were changing the date.
I sit in a position of ignorance.
We'll have to double check that. Don't hold me to that date. I'll see if I can find it.
All right, first responders installation dinner is this Thursday at the Castle, starts at 6 p.m. And that's all I have. Happy New Year, everyone. Congratulations to Madam Mayor Russell.
Thank you.
And looking forward to a great year. That's it.
Councilman Siracusa.
Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you have a healthy and safe 2026. Congratulations to Kyle and Melissa.
Thank you.
One thing, whenever the public comes and they speak at the podium, your comments do not fall on deaf ears. You should know that. All right, we take notes, we have discussion. All right, we can say certain things now, we just can't sometimes. That's just it. All right, and I'm glad that you care enough as we do to raise our right hand and go out there and knock on doors and try to put your faith and confidence in us to be up here and make the hard decisions. Because sometimes it's not easy to be up here. Right, and it's certainly not easy for you guys to be out there, twice a month, as many of you are. So thank you for that. But I just want to let you know that your comments do not fall on deaf ears. That's all. Thank you.
Very well said. I agree. We do listen. Sometimes we don't say anything, but we do listen. First Aid is having their 75th anniversary party May 30th. So that'll be exciting. Details to follow. Keep in mind, the library is still closed. It will be closed till approximately February 5th for some major renovations. It's going to look amazing. If you normally vote at the library for the special election on the 5th, you will be moving to the senior house. So you should get, what are they getting, a postcard, Carol? Postcard to that effect. So if you know anybody that normally votes at the library, know that they've been moved.
It's also on the sample ballot, and we're going to put the moving sign in front of the building.
Okay. Library reorg is at 7 tomorrow with the meeting to follow. The Environmental Commission meets tomorrow at 7:30. I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and thank you for all you do. Everybody, thank you. Next on the agenda is public comment. As a reminder, we welcome comments, suggestions, and questions rather than dialogue. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name for the record. Paul, you still want to come up? Come on.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Paul Mailer, congratulations.
Thanks, Paul.
I'd like to comment about the 60 Sunset application. It was, for me, both a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing because I made any number of new friends as a result of all the hours that we spent on this thing. And I know all of you know, maybe not all of them know, that I am an unabashed liberal. And I have made friends with folks who are not as a result of this. But I also want to tell you that the application, in my view, and I'm a former chairman of a planning board, spent any number of years trying to understand the complexities of the municipal land use law. This is an application that, in my view, should have been rejected on its face due to the bulk variance. The very idea that a secondary school could be jammed into less than 5 acres when the engineers who came and testified know that their trade association recommends 20 acres for a secondary school. So they know that this was the wrong thing to do. Both the engineers for the applicant and the engineers for the township knew and should have reported accordingly. I think most of the failure that I saw during those meetings was the zoning officer and her failure to recognize all of the difficulties with this application. She should have done a far better job informing the board, and you folks for that matter. And at the end of the day, it's not a business decision. It's a quality of life and a safety decision for the community. So I would encourage you to keep that in mind. And I'm also here tonight in my capacity as the president of Propel Pequannock Residents of Pride, Equity, and Leadership, to make the following statement. With regard to citizenship or immigration status, the parents and children of many American cities, including Morristown, New Jersey, are being terrorized in their homes, their schools, and their neighborhoods. Propel Pequannock stands with them, as we hope does the Township of Pequannock. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Many people got a lot of praise today, yeah, and I think that's a good start in a new year. And sorry, we shouldn't forget Mrs. Marsh. She always works. She always does the work. Everything is working fine. And I admire her ability to read these ordinances. Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. Ma'am, you want to say something?
Hello. Happy New Year, everybody. I am radically opposed to this outfit developing the 60 Sunset.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Karen Canan, 143 Boulevard, that White House on the corner there. And I also enjoyed meeting an awful lot of new people, made great friends going to every one of the meetings. I really hope that you can help stay with the rest of the people in town. There was no one who was at all interested in having that monstrosity shoehorned onto that little bit of property. And I think it's a safety issue, it's a water, an environmental issue, and it's just going to be nothing but expense and problems for the town. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
My name is Mary Kay Schmerman. I want to thank all the people that have been working on 60 Sunset and all the incredible information that I've received by listening to you all. I really, really appreciate your civic engagement, and I support all that you've been doing. I also support Paul's statement. It's really, really important in today's world. The other thing is I'm really excited that Anne Marie Finnan has accepted to be the library board trustee. And so I'm glad, she's heading into retirement at the end of January, and here she is providing, again, information and committing herself to the community. I do also want to thank, there was a vigil held at the gazebo on Saturday, and the Pequannock Township Democrats organized that. Unfortunately, it was cold, rainy, but we came with our candles, and the reason we were there for this vigil was to honor Renee Nicole Good. She was murdered by an ICE person, federal employee. This was held in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and in my humble opinion, she was murdered. So I do want to appreciate that we held a vigil on Saturday. Sunday, you may know, you may not know, the thousands of people who showed up at protests across the country, locally in Montclair, other places, Denville. And I want to thank all the protesters who showed up for our democracy. We have to make sure that our American citizens are not murdered by other American citizens who should not have done that. So that's basically what I wanted to say, but I also wanted to ask a question. I understand that there have been ICE agents seen in Bloomfield, Riverdale. I don't know if there's been any ICE agents here in Pequannock. What is the role of our police department if somebody gets in trouble? I guess I just need a reminder exactly as to what the New Jersey laws are in terms of the police and the ICE situation. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Okay, we are closing public comment. Did you want to?
There's just one question. I think all we can say, Mr. Trimmer, is that I'm sure our police chief will appropriately work with federal, state, whatever other authorities come in, and will do the appropriate thing for us. And how that comes out, I'm not sure.
Legally.
Okay, there are no minutes presented for approval. Next on the agenda is a closed session discussion. Is there a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the Township Council to meet in executive session to discuss contract negotiations related to a 231 West Parkway easement and the Cable Vision franchise agreement?
I'll make that.
Is there a second?
Not second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? At this time, the public portion of the meeting is recessed for closed session. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and thank you for your input.